Heart2Start Fantasy Football Podcast, man. Coming back to y'all. Week 4 in the books. Well, almost. We got one more game left. Green Bay and Falcons is going on right now. But for the most part, you know, week 4 is in the books, man. How y'all feeling, man?
For some of us. All our games is done.
Y'all games done? Not me. I'm still waiting. We gonna see.
The hope keep hope alive.
If I gonna go 1-3? Am I gonna go 1-3 in the main league, or am I gonna go 2-2? I'm hoping for 2-2. Actually, I'll give y'all a funny story right now. We troll so much. The Kirk curse is legendary as far as jinxing. He jinxed the Lakers to win the series. The Nuggets, it was all type of the Nuggets. Everybody you talked about.
I'm a Laker hater. No one thought Portland was going to win.
I don't know. I just know that the Kirk curse is legendary.
Been around for years. Mine been around for a couple of weeks.
Hey, they told Kirk, look, we can go back to my jinx in a little bit. But his jinx, right? His jinx, he started talking about my matchup, and Allen Robinson went from 5 points to 23. I said, woo! I'll take it. The curse he talking about is when I trade somebody, that person get off. So I traded Mixon the week before last. It looked like a good trade. Chubb was involved.
Should have told everybody.
Chubb got hurt.
Mixon.
I play against the Mixon owner I traded it to, and he go crazy, man. And I'm still trying to win, man. This fantasy shit is tricky, man. We got Guccini, JD, like always.
We got one half of the juggernaut.
One half of the juggernaut.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody said nothing about that.
Hey, the humbler.
You pointed that. You the juggernaut right now. Yeah, you
the juggernaut. You running the dynasty league.
But there's teams that's undefeated in the league, though.
But your team looked the strongest with no.
How I look the strongest, but there's niggas undefeated.
You got body.
Oh, we giving you. You bad at taking compliments.
We giving you a compliment,
bro. Did you hear? You wasn't at the airport with us when he crowned Ryan at the airport.
Bro,
I was
trying to
gas team. No, you wasn't.
Look, I like Ryan's team, but he lost Michael Thomas. Like, let's be real. He had a solid team before he lost Michael Thomas, and now his other dude's been busting.
So you got the jinx then. You jinxed
before
Michael Thomas was lost. You gave him the best team out the league.
Bro, you can ask Wood. Wood been on this juggernaut shit, right? And I told Wood, I said, bro, he keep talking about, MJD team. I'm like, if he get back this, I said, bro, JD team is sneaky good, bro. I don't know if y'all paying attention, but his team look good, bro. You feel me? You can call it gas.
Last year too, though.
Who?
JD's.
No, he wasn't even like
in 11th place.
No, I'm saying it looked good at this point last year.
No, I was fighting last year, bro.
That
might have been the year before last.
The year before, last year was the only year I didn't make the playoffs.
Hey, shout out to our first sponsor, because on Anthony Walker, Finance Friday. He give y'all a good game every week, man. To pay yourself first. You feel me? Buy land. Love his currency. You know what I mean? And really, he just giving you a blueprint of some stuff he learned when he was growing up. And it's all good. We call it game. You know what I mean? Because we come from it. But he giving you some good game.
Blessing you with some free game, bro. That's what he doing.
Free game, man. For real.
Y'all go tap into his motherfucking Instagram. Y'all go tap into his website. You can find this shit, nigga, on AntWalker33 on IG, man.
Yes, sir.
Y'all go definitely tap in with that young brother because he is really lacing the brothers and sisters on how to be wealthy in this motherfucker. Not just with currency, but nigga with buy land. Nigga, love is wealth.
All that shit.
Everything.
And he got a hell of a story, man. Check him out, man. Hey, my cousin got a master's degree from St. Mary's, too, man. I don't know if y'all know that. You know what I mean? He battled.
And he's an athlete, though. That's another thing.
Hey, was an athlete. All that, man. Running back, coach, all that, man. Shout out to Cuzzo, man. Yeah. But look, let's jump into some of the biggest headlines. Since we're going to talk about the Cowboy and Browns game first, we got to mention that Nick Chubb is out for possibly 6 weeks. Could be less. Could be about 6. Either way, it's a big blow to fantasy owners, and I hope you got a backup. You know what I mean?
One of the ones that got him. Shout out to the SIB niggas, Smoking Jay and Bogey Invitational. I drafted him first round. Don't got no backup plan. Hopefully, that waiver wire go through in that league.
Hopefully you listen to your boy and you got Kareem Hunt off the rip, so you wasn't even tripping off Chubb.
I mean, he probably did draft, though. He probably wouldn't have drafted Hunt though with Chubb. That wouldn't kind of make, because they kind of, you can play both of them.
General,
you know what I mean?
He's saying took him over him, but
Hunt. You know what I'm saying? And you would have had somebody.
But
like
you didn't even start Hunt this week.
I didn't have him.
You got him in Ashy.
Oh, because he was hurt, and I kind of wasn't even. I was tripping on the schedule this week with the cancel.
But I gotta jump out on the rip right quick. Last week, we got a stat corrector in the podcast, which happens to be me. Sometimes I go do my homework. I said the fella to the right of me was trying to sell me Damian Williams. Shout out to my cousin L. He at the top of the league in the Ashy. He one of the only undefeated teams. That nigga was the nigga that was trying to sell me Damian Williams, nigga, for the first 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Yeah, so I apologize to my co-host, man. I blamed it on the tree, which, I thought they was tripping. I was the one that was doing the tripping,
bro. He was on
that. Was that Corleo.
I went and pulled the motherfucking text messages and the transactions in that league. Shout out to myself. I'm the commissioner of that.
Adios, motherfucker.
Shout out to the homie B, man. Chucky B, man. He in the Heart2Start league. He brought us that secret Chucky juice, man. B. Buzzing with B. You know what I mean? With B. Nah, this ain't no sex on the beach, man. This ain't no adios, man.
This that shit that's gonna have you like this.
This the buzzing with B, man. Shout out to Buzzing with B. Labels coming soon.
This gonna have you like this.
He's signing a liquor deal. He's signing a liquor deal, so he didn't want to put the labels on there because he don't know who he's signing with yet. You know what I mean? Shout out to the homie.
That Thug Passion, Pac said, man, it's gonna have you.
B might be one of the first people this year or any year fantasy winning his game, putting up hella points with Noel as his starting running back because he got injured. Noel. Hey, B, come get a running back. I don't know either. The Chicago Bears. And he put up 170 still.
Shout out to
you know what I mean? Shout out to Chucky B, man. But look, let's get back to that Browns and Cowboys game. Besides Chubb getting hurt, what's the biggest headline?
I just want to know why this nigga don't think OBJ is back. That's what I want to know. Tell the people why OBJ ain't back.
OBJ not back? I mean, he had his 30
I don't think
points.
so. I got him in another league. I traded him last week. I got him in another league. I'm trying to trade him.
What did you trade him for in the other league?
How many questions you got? Answer one question first.
Yeah, please do. But I got, I'm just trying to say.
Okay,
y'all go ahead. What happened? Back for one, because look at all the tricky shit they had to do to get the nigga all these points. You had to hand it off to him. Nigga, your wide receiver had to throw him a touchdown. That's bad for this quarterback. The touchdown Baker did throw was a 1-yard pass. And I'm just not feeling Baker. It ain't got nothing to do with OBJ. It's Baker. He's still only getting 6 targets a game. That ain't enough on the team running the most in the league.
19 for 30, 165 yards, 2 TDs.
How many?
That was Baker
on the season.
Okay.
Baker.
That was Baker yesterday.
And how many rushing yards did they put up? Who's leading the league in rushing yards total?
Browns.
Everything is all predicated off the running game.
I mean, if a team has, say you get 75 plays, and the team run 50 of those, that don't give that much, you know what I'm saying? They don't get that much space for OBJ to work with.
So when there's 8 men in the box and he only has to beat one defender, and
Baker has to beat you, not OBJ.
Hey, I'm gonna say this.
Baker can't read coverages. He's a one read, and I'm out. And I don't know what to do.
Who did they play on Thursday night a couple of weeks ago?
Cincy.
Did they play Cincy?
Was that Cincy?
Whoever they played,
somebody
and his first TD of the season on that one move got him them 16. Not that whole play, but just that play in general helped him elevate to wherever he finished that game with 16, 17 points. Yeah. That's all I need.
Hey, is Kirk Cousins a good quarterback to you?
He's better than Baker.
Okay, not comparing him to Baker. Well, kind of. What about under Stefanski? Kirk Cousins looked a lot better than he does right now, and that's who's over in Cleveland.
Kirk Cousins.
Now I will say this: with Kareem Hunt not finishing the game, which they were winning at the end. No, Kareem Hunt didn't finish. He didn't finish running the game. That's why they were giving it to the young bull. We'll talk about later, but he went into it with a little groin injury. I feel like they're going to spread it around a little bit. And if you take Chubb out of the equation when you're giving both of them, that's kind of like a step down a little bit. I mean, a lot of bit. You know what I mean? So
a step down from what?
A step down from being, or the run game being so continue to keep being potent.
You don't think Hunt can do the same thing?
No, Hunt can absolutely do the same thing, but it was 2 of them.
Yeah.
And the running game was clicking. They're both getting carries. They're both effective when they get it.
It was only 2
now you add, but look,
Hunt
now
was there.
I feel you, but now you add these other guys, and they have a good record right now. So do you want to run Hunt into the ground when you're gonna try? They're
No,
gonna
use the
try.
other nigga.
They're gonna try using the other ones. But what I'm saying is, you replace Hunt and Chubb with Hunt and the other guys. So to me, if you say that the Browns are gonna be leading and running on everybody all year, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. The game script has fell in their favor recently.
You're gonna lose your job
Listen,
because you're depending on Baker Mayfield.
That's not
to
what I'm
win
talking
the
about.
football.
But we're
No,
talking
we're
about
not-
fantasy and OBJ. Nobody
they're
owns
not
Baker.
Worried about
Nobody
fantasy.
owns Baker.
But you're
What I'm
talking
saying
about them
is,
throwing more.
you just said they're going to run 50 times. And I'm not
Yes.
saying they're not going to be
Because
able
that's
to run
their
50
best
times
chance to
every.
win.
It might be, but that don't mean it's going to happen every
Bro,
time.
You're depending on Baker Mayfield. Nigga, OBJ or Landry can't throw this nigga
Yeah,
the
do you
ball.
follow me? Are
Baker
they
has
gonna
to
be
throw this
having
nigga
to throw
the
the
ball. Baker has
Are
to
they
throw
just
the ball.
not going to never throw the ball now?
Yes.
No, they're gonna have to throw the ball.
Yes.
But what
They-
I'm saying
obviously
is
they're gonna have
the
to.
run sets up the throw. It
does.
ain't the opposite way. And so with them investing in their offensive line, and ain't nobody on their offensive line hurt, even though they just lost Nick Chubb, I think they still gonna be able to run the fucking
They
ball
finna
the
run
way
the
that they
fuck
They
out
want
of
for
the
to.
ball.
sure finna run the ball.
Last
But what
year
I'm
they
saying
didn't
is,
run Hunt
the
last
people
year.
they've played up until this
Hunt
point,
missed 8 games last year.
That's
Bro.
what I'm saying.
the people they've
Chubb
been
did it with
playing,
one nigga. So
Bro.
Hunt could do it. They could do it with one nigga. That's
the
my
people
point.
that they have been playing,
Been trash.
But that
they've
proves my
been
point,
able
though.
to run the ball. So you're not going to tell me that the rest of the way, 100% of their games, they're going to be able to run the ball.
When your best
I
your
st-
best thing is running the ball, and you lead the league in rushing, and you play the Chiefs, the best team in the league, what you think they're gonna try to do?
But they have a
Run the
great
ball
defense.
and control the clock.
Right. No, without a but you're gonna take your shots though.
But you're not
Yeah.
going
And
to
I'm
be able
and
to
any
do it
cornerback
all the
over
time.
there. Oh wow.
Good. Is
I
that
got him
Tandem?
in. Yep, I got him in.
Oh, that tight end looks
DraftKings.
good over there.
And any cornerback on the Chiefs, I put up against OBJ. OBJ will cook him.
Or Kansas City defense is a slip.
I don't give a fuck what
They
they
got a
nigga. They
super
didn't play
defense.
Chris Jones this today,
They got
and they
a
ran up
super
on
defense.
a limpy ones. New England that was fighting with they
They just
third
shut
and
down-
Bro,
fifth
they
12
play-
string
they just
quarterback.
shut
This
They
is
just
all
shut
I'm
down
saying.
Lamar
This
last
is
week.
all I'm saying, bro. This
They
is all I'm
embarrassed-
saying.
They just embarrassed
Yeah.
the Ravens.
Baltimore, obviously, they lost 6-38. Cincy, Washington, Dallas are the teams they just played where they were able to run the ball. All I'm saying
They run the ball
is,
on everybody,
Indy
bro.
going to be
That's my
another
point.
run the ball. When you play a team like Pittsburgh,
They run the ball.
they're going to try.
You think OBJ is gonna get?
I think that Pittsburgh is a better team, and they're not going to be able to just run the ball. OBJ is
Bro.
going to be used, bro.
Bro,
He's
OBJ
going to be
is
put.
not-
He's going to
you know-
listen.
you know
it's
Baker's-
either this. It's
Is
either
Joe
two
Hayden-
outcomes.
Joe
it's
Hayden's
two
over here
outcomes.
still?
It's two outcomes with OBJ. Either he gets put into a great position because the run is clicking, or they have to pass it to him because they're down and they can't control the
Show me
game.
a game he balled where the run game was clicking and he balled out too, except aside from yesterday.
Well, last
Because
year it
the
wasn't
Cowboys
clicking.
defense-
We only 4 games into the season with a whole new coach,
It
a
wasn't
whole new
clicking,
system.
But what was clicking?
It was
The
a whole
run
new
game.
coach and a whole new. I mean, we had fucking Freddie Kitchens over there,
They're
bro.
gonna give OBJ. They're not force feeding OBJ. They're gonna give him the ball enough to be quiet.
And
as
he's
long
saying
as
they
they're
don't
winning-
have to force feed him because the run is clicking.
Exactly.
Or if it's not
Exactly.
clicking, they still got to throw it to him.
My wide receiver one, I want more. I want for one not to be Baker Mayfield as their quarterback. 2, I want the nigga
You
to have
got
more.
something against Baker right now, or
Nigga,
you
Baker
just?
But you
fucking
drafted
sucks,
an OBJ.
and I was wrong, nigga, and I got rid of his ass. What you mean? And I don't want my first receiver having 6.5.
Hey, well, you
targets
know
a
what?
game.
It's a good thing that on Wednesday we got the Bears, Booze, and the Bros. Shout out to
Swerve,
Bogey.
and I
And we're
swerved
going to
on
have
that
a
nigga.
panel put together, and we're going to go over players
Come on,
that
man.
you should swerve or swerve on, a.k.a. trade,
Yeah,
trade,
I got
or
one last
trade
thing
for.
since y'all like, you know, Baker's record as a starter versus winning teams, 2-11. Fuck all
two
that. What
years
you
in the
talking
league,
about?
though, bro. This
3
is third-
years in the
no,
league.
this is his third
This
year.
is his 4th year.
This-
No, it don't matter, nigga. 2-11, nigga. 2-11, and he got to play winning teams this year.
Well, let's throw
And
this
he don't
in.
get
We
it
will
done.
talk about this player later, but Dearness Johnson, 13 carries for 95 yards. If you telling me he's going to get 8 to 10 carries a game on a run-first team, like y'all say, he's definitely worth somebody to look into for sure.
Facts.
But, you know, Landry's stats are skewed. He threw the touchdown. You know what I mean? He had 5 catches for 48 yards. He threw the TD. I mean, he had 20 points in some leagues. He's not healthy all the way, but you're coming into those weeks where you might got to throw a Landry in. I consider throwing him in over Slayton this week in the league because I'm like, ooh, I don't like Slayton matchup. You know what I mean? And not only that, it's COVID. It's shit going on where you might not have had other players you were going to play, and you might got to play Landry, you know? But I don't trust him yet. He ain't healthy. And I don't trust him because OBJ is already a maybe, maybe not. You know what I mean? If that's what we're talking about.
Because of Baker, though, when's the last time you ain't trust Jarvis Landry?
Hooper got a touchdown, 5 for 35.
When's the last time Jarvis Landry ain't been trusted in PPR?
Jarvis Landry had 85 receptions last year.
He was
That's what I'm saying. When's the last time
he had Baker throwing
But he coming into the season limpy, though.
Bro, it ain't it, bro.
Let's talk about the other side of that game, though. Let's talk about the other side of that game, though. The Cowboys.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
Landry got off last year. OBJ didn't. So 2 niggas not getting off in that offense.
Different
Name
system.
one good offense where you don't
definitely
Different system.
I'm
We
talking
had
Freddie
Freddie Kitchens.
Kitchens.
And the cold thing it is Baker's made his 3rd season because Freddie was the offensive coordinator his first year. That's why they let them.
And you know what they say about your 3rd year? Nigga, that's who you are. That's the shit.
Well, they 3-1 right now, bro.
Exactly, but on the running game, not on Baker.
We'll see.
Different.
Hey, I'm not. This isn't for Baker. This is an OBJ argument to me. You know what I mean? And you got to talk about Baker because that's his quarterback. But we'll see. You know what I mean? Let's talk about the other side of the ball, though. Cowboys.
Terrible on defense. Oh, I think it's good on.
Cowboys.
Defense is kind of
Dak,
super.
that's your guy?
Yeah. Dak.
Dak going stupid.
As him being the number 1 fantasy quarterback in the league right now, I just, the question is it sustainable? And then with them, I know in the first game they played the Rams, it really wasn't much of a shootout, and I benched him for Drew Brees because I thought that Drew Brees versus the Tampa Bay Bucks game was going to be a shootout, and that was my only Heart2Start over him and Dak. But shit, since week 2 all the way to now, which is 3 games, and Dak has putting up 50s damn near every motherfucking week. And the cold thing is, it's the defense that's letting him down to where he gotta, go throw for 500
he threw 58
week.
times,
500 yards,
41 for 58, 502 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Cooper, 12 catches for 134 TDs. CeeDee Lamb, 5 catches, 79 yards, and 2 TDs. Your boy Schultz, JD giving y'all gems. He been telling y'all Schultz from as soon as Jarwin got hurt. 4 catches for 72 yards and a TD. Zeke with the 12 for 54, but he had 8 catches for 71 yards. Zeke is as safe as it comes. You know what I mean? But like you said, Dak and them is gonna be, and it's like they playing in the fucking division where you could be 8-8 and get in, like, so they're never out of it. You know what I mean? But it's like, damn, how can Jerry Jones even fix his lips to blame Dak? Like, it's your fucking defense, bro.
It's the defense.
You don't want to go get nobody, bro.
And
you get people when you let them go.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
and it's McCarthy to me. If you got Dak right now, I love Dak to start the year. He's my 3rd quarterback. If you got Dak right now, you probably in 1st, 2nd, somewhere around there. But I don't think it's going to last because they're not winning. And clearly, they need to give the ball to Zeke to win. Zeke needs way more than 12 carries.
Well, they're being down early.
Nah, they really not.
They are being down early.
Nah, bro. They starting off the game throwing off rip. Zeke, they not down early enough,
bro, they've been coming back 3 touchdowns and shit. Huh?
Yeah, but from second half,
down 20 points.
You're not down 20 points in the first quarter. They running the ball.
It's a long
running the ball.
I think Cleveland put up 20 straight points yesterday on their ass.
Yeah, you know what's bigger to me? You know what's a bigger thing to me than Dak throwing for 500 is Dak throwing for 500 and Gallup only had 2 catches for 29 yards.
Yeah, that's bad. I played against them.
Wow, if you spent high draft capital on Gallup, it's time to just bench him and hope somebody's desperate or that's a Gallup fan.
High capital on Gallup though, that's for damn sure.
Where was Gallup
might have
going?
been a 6-7 round.
He was going before the 7th round.
Y'all were high on Gallup.
Not me. I used to be arguing with the homie Piggy. Shout out to Piggy Bank Pitch.
I forgot who was
I'm like, Gallup ain't it, bro. Why would they bring CeeDee Lamb in, bro, if Gallup was the guy, bro?
Yeah, I mean, it's just sitting there at the 15th pick. You damn right. Why not go get him?
I'm saying, but if Gallup, and they thought about trading Gallup.
But the cool thing is, we talking about Jerry and his picks and letting niggas go, that was a questionable pick. We talking about defensive players. Tell me all the defensive players that was there when Gallo got picked. They didn't have to go get CD Lamb. That's on them when they already got a high-powered ass offense. You know what I mean? You don't know what you want to do as what is your identity as a team. So now that you got Gallup, you got CD, you got Amari, you got Zeke, nigga, your game, your identity is to put 50 points up like the Chiefs with no defense, but the Chiefs got defense though. So you know that's my standpoint. You know, and I just hope that he do sustain it because in both of my home leagues, nigga, I drafted the same motherfucking team, bro. Nigga, my first 5 picks in Ashley the Classy and AOB, nigga, shout out to G the commish, nigga, of AOB, nigga, I got the same fucking team. I just don't got the same record, bro. And we all right in both leagues. On my mama, so bro, that's just how I feel about my team.
Last week against Seattle, Zeke got 14 carries, and them niggas was tied, bro, in the first quarter. They was only down 7 at halftime. Nigga, they throwing the ball too much. They later on in the year, maybe they not trying to run Zeke into the ground, and they saving him for later in the year.
Pollard had a touchdown. They definitely took Zeke out when they was down.
Yeah, and he been playing a lot more.
Let's talk about the Chargers and the Bucks game. That was a good game if you were watching that. Oh man,
that was the only game on
with
TV in this area.
The Chargers are gonna be cool. They gonna be all right.
Hey, that was a game. Herbert, 20 for 25, 290 yards, 3 TDs, 1 pick.
Toe to toe with the
and they was up by 14 or something like that, bro. They was up for a minute in that game, bro.
They just covered the spread.
Covered the spread, 7.5. That was looking like a lot. Really Brady, though. Can we talk about Brady? Oh, wait. Eckler hurt. Oh, man. Shout out to Austin Eckler, man. Sorry for the young man. You know what I mean? But Eckler, man, he's out. I don't know how long.
4 to 6 weeks, I think they said.
He got 2 injuries.
He got the hamstring and the ankle or knee? It was a hammy and
hammy and something. Hammy and something for sure.
Who had the
I can't
knee?
remember what it was.
What did
Chubb
okay, I think his was the ankle.
Eckler going down. Hey, everybody's jumping on Josh Kelly, and I hate to say this right now, but I can't hold back from the people because I got Josh Kelly in some leagues, and a lot of people have been reaching out to me for him. But Justin Jackson might be the pass catcher, and Josh Kelly fumbled every game.
He got a fumbling problem, and Justin Jackson was the number 2 back before he got hurt
last year. You know what I mean? Yeah. That Kelly definitely looks like a better runner, though. You know what I mean? And that's why he took that number 2 spot because he spelled the pass catcher in Eckler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now
that fumble,
take out Eckler, who's going to be the pass catcher? To me, it's Justin Jackson. But on the flip side, I'm giving to you on both sides. Eckler is a guy you got to use him as a pass catcher because he's an offensive weapon.
Yeah.
Jackson may not be that, and Herbert likes to go down the field, and he's firing that thing. So, you know, temper your expectations on Kelly just because he's taking over. What you think about that?
Just give me 1 week. I think he's going to do his thing. He's the guy that's been there.
Who, Kelly or Jackson?
Nigga, Kelly has been there. Jackson ain't been there.
Jackson has been there. Kelly's a rookie.
This year, you damn right.
Oh, this year, yeah.
He took that job for a reason. We're going to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Tiki Barber had fumbling issues.
On both of them. Yeah, you got to wait a week, like he said.
Wait a week on.
Some people probably going to have to start him, though. Shit, if I had one of them, I had to start him this week, probably, so. Nah,
if
maybe
you
not.
can, I mean, shit. Well, Eckler and Chubb went down this week, so somebody's thin. Unless that team got hella running backs.
And there's a guy out there, a girl, whoever the fuck you may be. You've taken Chubb and Eckler as your 12th and 13th pick, or your 12th. That's the point I'm proving right now that I'm trying to make is that you got both of them boys on your team right now.
Hopefully you got a high.
What are you gonna do? So you better be hitting that wire quick.
Hunter Henry only 2 catches, 39 yards. Keenan Allen 8 catches, 62 yards. Gutin caught a deep one. You know what I mean?
Hey, this shit is good as fuck, B.
This shit is good, B.
Hey,
Gutin did something, but on the
that
flip
nigga
side,
had
one catch,
nigga for 75 yards.
Hey, let's talk about on the Bucs side. Tom Brady, Tampa, 30 for 46, 5 TDs to a lot of different receivers.
At
Look how
50
many
years
people
old.
caught one. Evans 7 catches for 122 and a TD. Scotty Miller 5 for 83 and a TD. OJ Howard, who's out for the season now, 1 TD with Achilles. Gronk with the 1 TD. Keyshawn Vaughn with 1 TD. Then on the running side, Rojo with 20 carries for 111, but he was stone hands out there. He got 6 catches for 17, but he probably could have had 10 catches. I seen him drop 2.
Yeah.
And that just tells me that Fournette is going to take over when he's healthy.
That's been his thing. I think with my biggest take, is seeing OJ go down. Brake had the touchdown, not Gronk.
Yeah, it's going to be
It was Cameron Brake that had the touchdown, not Gronk. So I think that this is where Gronk comes in and has his he starts establishing himself, because the week before he had 6 or 7 targets for with 5 or 4 receptions for 50-something yards. And this might not have been the game for him right now on Sunday, but with OJ going down and it only being 2 tight ends now, I think Gronk starts to emerge himself in that offense, especially with we don't know what guy went missing in 2 games, so he's looking like he might be a little prone.
Because they play on Thursday.
Do they?
The Bucks.
Whoa. So this is a
playing.
short week. Exactly. So I think this is where Gronk might insert himself, and then just a little down the road thing to the waiver wire. I think how Cuzzo was saying how Rojo is not catching the balls and how Keyshawn coming out that backfield catching a TD and whatnot. You might want to go look at Keyshawn maybe just as a deeper,
especially if you're in the league and you got a spot where you could just waste one on a running back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But Fournette with the 75 receptions last year, for what reason he sat out, he was a healthy scratch. It wasn't no injury report thing or nothing like that.
He
wasn't hurt. It was a healthy scratch. Oh my mama, so ain't no
and
telling.
Then McCoy got hurt. You know what I mean?
And McCoy looked it all right. And that, because like I said, here where we at, that was the only game on TV, that you could watch the full game unless you got the red zone or the NFL package. But on everything.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with Gronk at all. But I've been on that train, nigga, the whole year. But I think Brady's starting to like Scotty Miller though. For sure.
Bro,
I think that's
Scotty Miller. I seen his first game where he had a bigger role. He dropped the touchdown. He had to die for it, though. It was a bad throw.
And then
he got hurt another game. He's involved. He's the hard-working, you know what I mean, receiver that Brady likes. Those little ones who ain't scared to go over the middle. Yeah. You know what I mean? And gonna get it done and move the chains.
Hang out with him outside the game. That's probably his boy.
Move the chains. Let's jump into the Saints and Lions, though. Saints 35, Lions 29. Did that cover that spread? No, it was 4 points or something. 5. Murray had 2 TDs on 14 carries. Kamara 19 carries, 64 yards, a TD, 3 catches for 36. Traquan Smith with that helps no one unless you were desperate. 2 TDs.
Playing Traquan Smith though.
2 TDs, 54 yards. Emmanuel came with the 6 for 93. Breeze 246 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception. I still feel the same way about Breeze on the Saints side of the game. He's just going to do enough to get you done. He's definitely not throwing the ball down the field.
At the end of the year, it's going to be...
He's not throwing the ball down the field. He's not throwing the ball down the field. If you're desperate, I think Murray is a plug and play on a week, specifically against who they play against.
And with Mike Thomas being out, because they're going to use Kamara more in the as a receiving back, even though he cracked the top 12 as a rusher this week. And the week before that, he did the 13 receptions for 134 yards or whatnot. So, it's like you said, if you're desperate, you're going to throw Murray in, which I did have Murray in at the last second, and I went and got motherfucking Cole Beasley in the motherfucking Run Boys office league, you know what I mean? But, I definitely can see him kind of establishing himself with, a consistent 10 carries a game, which he has been getting. You know what I mean? Especially with Mike Thomas being out, bruh. So, yeah. But Mike Thomas should be back this week, though.
I was about to say he's coming back soon, right?
On the Lions side of it, Stafford, 3 TDs but only 206 yards. 1 interception. AP with the 11 for 36 and a TD. Swift with the 4 catches for a TD. Galladay had a solid game. 4 catches, 62 yards and a touchdown. Hawkinson with a 1-yard TD, but that was it. 206 yards.
I don't want anybody on the Lions until Patricia gone. He bad. He got a 35-year-old running back
leading the way, and they just drafted niggas 2 years in a row.
Both of them boys are second-round picks, too.
Bruh, like, he tripping, bro. Like,
and they had a 14-point lead in that game.
Yeah. They blew leads all year. That's not even the first lead they blew, so I don't know.
It's hard to have a Lions player right
Stafford
now.
is a streamer, but if you got Galladay, you're playing him. Like, he just came
have
back
to.
2 weeks in a row, touchdown.
He'll be on my
the knock on him was that he's touchdown dependent, and he's getting a touchdown every game. Yeah. I mean, you know.
But he started the season.
I don't want my wide receiver dependent though, or touchdown dependent. That's not.
It just started off bad for him because he was on the bench. If you looked at what he did last year coming into this year, you see why he was a high pick. You know what I mean? He was going in the third round. But, you know, coming in, you wouldn't think he was going to have a hamstring that sat him for 3 games, 2 games, whatever the fuck it was, and getting a slow start. So hopefully coming on later on to the season, he picks it up. And with them being out of games or having the lead and giving up the lead, that means here comes some garbage time to where they're going to have to throw. Yeah, he's that main guy. You know what I mean? So I don't know, bro. But, you know, I'm not comfortable with no Lions but Galladay. Maybe Hawkinson, you know, tight end so thin unless you got the top 3, top 4 dudes. And, you know, jumping ahead, Waller ain't doing too much of nothing right now. You know, so he was considered a top 3, top 4, top 5.
Bro, in the Heart2Start league, I'm down like 3 points or 4 points, bro. And these niggas keep going for it on 4th down, bro. I got Green Bay kicker left.
Hell of a team.
Come on, bro. Get a field goal. Stop these dudes, Jack. Yeah. Let's move on to the next game. Giants at Rams. I mean, shit. Danny Dimes is terrible. But shout out to Clock Management, man. The homie Justin, man. That's my guy over there, man. Out there in Seattle. But he's on me about my Danny Dimes takes in the offseason. But, you know, it was more so based on Barkley being there, too, and their offense taking a step and being down a lot of games. But they look terrible. You know what I mean? He didn't even have any passing yards for most of the game. It was crazy. Tanman is looking good. Now, that tight end on Green Bay is looking good. 2 TDs. Tunyon. Freeman led the team in carries. 11 carries, 33 yards, 4 catches. You know, he got you to 10. You know, Slayton 3 for 48. You know, that was a tough matchup against the Rams. Ingram 6 catches for 35. But I think the bigger story is on the Rams side of it and that backfield, man. You can't trust McVay. He told you. I wanted to have a different running back every single week. It was Darrell Henderson looking good last 2 weeks. Then what happened? Malcolm Brown. Led the backfield, 9 carries, 37 yards, 5 catches. Henderson, 8 carries.
But the Giants ain't no slouch, though, bro. The Giants played them great, bro.
I'm just talking about them playing both running backs.
No, I understand that, but the Giants wasn't giving them no cheeks on the ground like that. So that just might have been a bad game for the running backs.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's the thing. Who's hot is what they going to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the problem I got with, you know, that backfield over there. Cooper Kupp had the big catch, the 5 catches for 69 yards in the TD. Robert Woods was quiet, 6 catches for 35. But that's just going to come with game script games like that. You know what I mean? Nobody expected the Giants to be able to give them a challenge. So that's what was going to be happening. You know what I mean? Y'all got anything to take away from that? That was a pretty boring game. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah, them niggas lost some money.
Motherfucking Devontae trying to come in. He had a nice little 10 on the lower side, you know what I mean? He might be trying
Freeman?
to, yeah.
He might be playable.
He might be trying to make his presence felt, you know what I mean? I know a lot of you motherfuckers, you know, that had that number 1 waiver wire pick or might have just stashed him or something, you know, thought that might have been gold or whatnot, you know what I mean? Him getting that 10, so, you know, that might be a little sign to come because motherfucking Deion Lewis and Gallman.
I mean, Galvin has 6 carries or catches or something, but it ain't shit over there. That's nothing that you want unless you got to. Let's jump to that Bills-Raiders, 30-23 Bills win. Josh Allen, 23 for 34, 288 yards, 2 TDs. Your boy Singletary, 18 for 55 and a TD. Diggs with the 6 for 115. Brown looked like he should have had a touchdown. They called it not a touchdown. Gabriel Davis got his touchdown.
Shout out to Boltman.
I want a piece of the Bills' offense for sure. Like, they putting up points. They're going to be putting up points all year. They looking, like you were saying it, they looking to attack. I think, like you said, like, they looking to attack for when in the playoffs, when they need Allen to, you know, go get some points. That's what they doing. I think they're gonna let up a little bit with Allen throwing a lot. You know, when it get cold and you need them winter backs. But I think they getting them prepared for the playoffs, like you said. And I want a piece of that offense. They don't score points all year.
He went out with a little bit with a little hand injury on the non-throwing hand.
I think it was a shoulder.
A shoulder?
Yeah,
I thought it was a hand or something. Maybe a little stinger, but he came back and did his thing. I love Singletary. We gonna have him on the Swiver Swerve segment. I like Singletary a lot.
He don't score enough touchdowns. Like he get vultured on the touchdowns, but he's gonna be a ball in there. I know Allen throwing it. You know, he throwing it to him a little bit more. You know, he'll dump it off. They gonna run the ball. He gonna get the bulk of the carry. So yeah, I'm good with Singletary. Especially the way the running backs are right now.
I mean, you traded him for OBJ, so you gotta be good.
Of course he good.
I mean, shit. I'm not just saying that. If I wasn't good with him, I'd be like, fuck. I fucked up. Like I said last year, I wasn't trying to fuck.
You know you done fucked up, right?
I wasn't trying to.
You bought the bottle of beer at 11:45.
Hella niggas open.
You
Bro,
said
it was all open.
You said you bought the bottle of beer. Hey, but look, Diggs, I fucked up not fucking with Diggs.
Yeah,
I think when G
too.
drafted him, he was like, "You didn't get your boy,
Diggs is killing over there, without a doubt. Josh Allen is letting that bitch rip right now, bro. They are letting that boy do his thing on everything. Diggs, we seen even Beasley, bro. Beasley has been consistent for the first 4 weeks as well. You know what I mean?
Beasley cool.
Real talk, and he got a rapport with him, and not even to say that Diggs don't got no rapport with him because he's been balling for his first 4 weeks in a new system, a new quarterback. You know what I mean? So
Diggs is a killer though.
No, talk.
He got that dog mentality. So when he got a quarterback that's allowed him to get it, he gonna try to go do his thing.
This
Saturday.
Saturday.
Out there, he was barking like
This
Abrams.
Saturday we play Clemson.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Talk to me.
Baby.
Yeah.
Any of you niggas talk right now.
Hey, what you think about the Bills D? Did they show up though? You talked about how they haven't really showed up, and you expect
It was
them to.
alright.
I don't think they're the defense. I don't know. I don't know if they missing somebody or
It ain't no number one
maybe they
defense
just
out there
chilling
right now,
now.
though.
Yeah, the best defense is
Because
not
the Colts
defense to me.
Colts only had like 5 points, 6 points, or some 10 points, or some shit like that. And then it was 3 defenses tied for fifth with 6 or 5 points that I just seen, man. So it ain't really no defense that's just establishing themselves right now. That's because you got scoring at an all-time high right now. Whether the refs ain't calling holding or whatever, they keeping their flags and whatever the shit may be, he making a statement right now too. Whatever the statement may be, I mean, whatever the shit may be, you just got a lot more points being scored all around the league. So maybe later on in the season, a defense might establish themselves. Even Tampa Bay, nigga, for the first 3 weeks, you had Shaq Barrett, you had Sue, and fucking JPP, nigga, dominating, but you let San Diego come up in here and put up whatever they put up, 30 plus points, jump out on you on a 2-touchdown lead. You know what I mean? So it ain't no defenses that's establishing themselves right now, bro. And
It's really like you're right. Like it's really like nobody I'm sitting based on defenses unless it's running backs against the Niners or tight ends against the Pats.
I thought about Baltimore, and
I was just finna say the Baltimore.
different.
and Gibson.
Yeah, and Gibson.
And Haskins threw for 3+.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't throw a TD, he threw for 3+ on the Ravens, bro. And I don't know if that was a home game for the Ravens or not. I can't think off my memory right now. But you let Haskins, who they was saying coming into this Sunday game, oh, he might get benched. And I seen a lot of motherfuckers go get Kyle Allen because we in Superflex leagues, me and Cuzzo we in 2 Superflex leagues with the SIB and the Run Boy shit. And I seen niggas go get snatched Kyle Allen to be ahead of the curve. You know what I mean? But here come Haskins. He throw for $3. You know what I mean? T-Mac hit for $1 something, nigga. Gibson got to doing his thing. So like I'm saying, it ain't no motherfucking defenses that's establishing themselves just based on the 2020 COVID.
I'm glad you brought up Gibson. Let's finish this Raider game and we'll jump into that game next. Let's talk about real quick. Waller 9 catches for 88 and a fumble. Aguilar 4 catches. He got a TD and he got 1 call back. Renfro with the solid 5 for 57 yards, and then Jacobs 15 for 48, 0 TDs, 3 catches for 25 yards.
Damn.
Are you worried about Jacobs? As a Jacobs owner, I'm worried about the Raiders play calling.
You got shares of Jacob.
I'm worried about the Raiders play calling. You know what I mean? And I'm also worried about Jacobs looking a little gimpy sometimes. I watched the game. He was kind of like pulling his, you know what I mean, stretching out a little bit.
I seen it. I thought he just,
You know
I
what I
thought
mean?
something was wrong with his cup or something.
Maybe it could have
That's
been
what I thought
something,
with-
but okay. Well, let's not say that. I'm an owner, so I'm sympathetic.
Yeah,
I got
worried.
the
then
wide
Naturals
range
was
of
saying
emotions.
that, though.
Shout out to
I know
both.
exactly what you was talking about. I was like, I think he just had
But
like,
that went back
a fertile issue.
But I
That
think it's
went
their
back
play
from-
calling, bro.
From the Raider game, the Raiders and Saints game, where me and you was finishing the night up on Monday night, and they took him out because he was a little limpy. That might be stemming from that too, though. You never know, because
No, it
you
could
kept
be for
saying
sure.
during the chat on Sunday when I was awake, this nigga kept saying, "Oh, it looked like they using the fullbacks. Oh, they using Richard. It ain't no telling if you know what I mean what it is. You know, so I don't know. You know what it is with Jacobs.
I kind of be worried about Jacobs a little
Definitely.
bit, but just because of the game script. I don't think
Game
they're going to
script.
be up in games.
To where they could just pound the rock.
Exactly. I think Waller's the guy to have on the Raiders because he's getting 12
But
targets.
that's the way I feel about the game script. Is how I feel about who was we talking about?
OBJ.
I don't think that the even though they're the best in the league or one of the best, that the Browns are always going to be able to have that game script. The Raiders play the Chiefs twice a year. We know they play them hard. They'll give them hard one game at least.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the game script is not going to fall into Jacobs' hands a lot
Yeah.
because they don't use him in the passing game. But that's the same thing I thought about Mixon. When I traded him, I said the problem I have with him is that he's not catching the ball.
Yeah.
They finally let him catch some balls, and look what happened. You gotta use Jacobs in
True.
more way than one.
Yeah,
you know what I
you can't
mean?
just
Like
run
we
up the
know
middle
he's
with
gonna
Jacobs,
run.
like,
We know he
yeah.
can run. But he's a star, bro. Like,
Yeah.
what do y'all want to do? Do y'all want to have an offense that they're like, damn, we got to stop him on the run, on the ground, Waller,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? The receivers, Carr's playing decent. So, it's, I'm worried about the Raider play calling, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
the difference, I agree with you saying that, but the difference with I think the Browns is a way better team than the Raiders, and I don't view OBJ as the PPR guy right now. He got to hit for a big play down there and a touchdown. He ain't gonna get 12 targets like Waller's gotten twice already.
I got
So
you.
I think that's why I think it's a little bit of difference for me.
Hey, but take it back home with your boy Gibson, man. Gibson,
I'm
Washington,
trying to
Ravens,
get Gibson for like
Ravens
3 weeks from BJ.
Ravens 31, Washington 17. I thought the Ravens was somebody you don't start players. You know what I
Right.
mean? Looks like it's only the Patriots.
And that just goes to show, back-to-back weeks where the Ravens defense, I ain't going to say got exposed, but, they was able to, your fantasy players in both of those games. I know the last game was against the fucking Chiefs, so of course you're going to fire up damn near everybody that you have on the Chiefs.
Maybe they really
But-
busted
but-
Tavon.
But with Washington, though, that was an outpour on fantasy production, not production on, fucking reality, but you had three key players that made the top whatever out on Washington, bro. That's big. That's saying something. That's something to build off of in Washington. And Washington went on the road and beat Philly the first game of the week or the first game of the season. I don't know who else they played, but going against Baltimore this last week, bro, you got to understand they got something to build off of. And like I said, they thought they was finna be benching Haskins, and here he come, and you got the big boys of the motherfucking division of the AFC North, or just the AFC period, you would think, and here they come giving up cheeks. You know what I mean?
I think they good for some garbage points late in the game. Gibson and McLaurin for sure.
That's fantasy relevant right there.
I think it might be too late to get Gibson if you haven't tried to get him now, but
Right.
you should probably try to get him. You know what I mean? Because they're going to keep using him more and more. And Scary Terry just showed me that he's a must-start versus any defense, except maybe the Pats. They're great at taking away the number one option, and I stand by that. I don't know if they have him on their schedule. I'm just saying in general. But, man, I mean, that was big. That was definitely big. On the other side of it, Lamar, I mean, he had the good fantasy points, but still 14 for 21. 193 yards, 2 touchdowns to Andrews, and then he rushed for the long one. Had 7 rushing attempts, 53 yards and a touchdown. You know what I mean? All the running backs are a wash over there. Hollywood 4 catches for 86. Andrews the three catches, 57 and 2 touchdowns. Look, I'm gonna say this: there wasn't any preseason. He was on the Madden cover, right? And he was the MVP. You know what I mean?
Madden
So with that being said, the timing isn't all the way there right now. Give him some time, he'll be fine.
If you look
at Hollywood will be fine.
Look at Jackson's
Every
schedule.
game that Hollywood, I'm a Hollywood owner, and I will watch some of those games when I can. Bro, he's been missing them on deep shots.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
So it's coming.
And
You know
their
what I mean?
schedule is nice, and especially their playoff schedule. You gotta have probably one of the best playoff schedules for quarterbacks. Like weeks 12 through 16 is nice for Jackson.
Hey, Lamar will be fine. Believe that. But all the running backs on the Ravens, though, Dobbins is still a hold to me. But, I mean, Ingram, if you got him, you chances are you probably slim at running back because you probably waited for running backs or you had a big injury. But he's not somebody that I'm looking to go target or looking to get. You know, none of those guys for sure. Everyone got a piece. Let's jump into the Cardinals and the Panthers. Biggest headline from there. What y'all think?
Shit, Teddy Bridgewater, nigga, slinging that motherfucking rock, bro.
Panthers might be all right.
They went on the road.
When McCaffrey come back.
Teddy beat 26 for 37, 276, 2 TDs in the air, 1 on the ground.
And fucking with Robbie Anderson.
I would
Robbie
say
Anderson
that's
be
my
consistent,
biggest take
bro.
is Robbie Anderson might be a legit wide receiver too.
Robbie Anderson is the receiver to own over there, not DJ Moore.
No.
It's Robbie Anderson. Until defenses realize, oh shit, Robbie Anderson is better than DJ Moore. We better try to stop him and not DJ Moore. But you know what I mean? Mike Davis is a fucking wonderful start.
Yeah.
Until McCaffrey come back, which will probably be soon. But he
Mike
even
Davis.
got some value maybe, but you know, we gotta wait and see.
Nah.
But you know, he's somebody that you should be starting every week. I know I am. The 2 leagues I got him in, I'm starting them one out. Neither one of them I have McCaffrey in.
And I'll trade him next week.
Nah, the time would be now, or the time would be. But they've been saying McCaffrey's hitting his workouts hard, and you know what I mean. So he'll be back.
I'd sell him right now.
What was he, an ankle? High ankle?
Unless
McCaffrey?
you hella need him right now, if you got something to kind of work with, I'd sell him right now.
Who, Mike Davis?
Hell yeah.
But I've been trying to sell Mike Davis, and nobody will buy him because they know he's temporary.
Nah, I mean, just get him for, try to go get him for like Will Fuller or somebody who don't like him, who expect him to get hurt, or somebody like I don't know, like
Or Will Fuller, huh?
yeah, somebody like that. Somebody who might think Mike Davis has value when McCaffrey. I think he has no value whatsoever when McCaffrey come back.
He don't, but until he do, why not win 3 more weeks if he help you win?
Well, I mean, he only,
You know what I mean?
Especially going 20 points a game.
Yeah,
17,
20,
21.
I'm saying if he's somebody like you could trade. I'll have Mike Davis on the trade block right now.
But nobody's gonna. If you're in a smart league, nobody's gonna give you good value for him.
Yeah, I'm just saying
Unless
I have him
they're
on the block.
desperate.
Exactly, and it's desperate
Like,
niggas.
Desperate
niggas.
But
L's
then
trade
who are they
for him
gonna
right
give him?
now.
No, he
Shout out
won't.
to my nigga
I've been
L's.
trying. No, he won't. He know he's temporary. You know what I mean? He don't want that.
That's because
you're desperate. He got
you trying to go high though.
No,
Exactly.
Me
You
and
don't
Els
make
had
good
shit on
trades,
the
bro.
table. Bro,
I
me
can't
and
put-
Els
I
had-
can't
Els sent me a
take your
good
word for
trade,
it.
but he wanted David Johnson and Boyd.
You only trade with like 2 niggas in the league. You trade with BJ and
BJ, Dabo, we trade a lot.
Damo, because Damo knew.
Damo likes to trade. He likes to get his guys. But you're an undercover trader. You've traded every
Yeah,
year
I've traded.
for sure. You'll trade. You know what I mean? But what's y'all? You said something. Your boy on the cards.
Oh, motherfucking Drake, bro. You niggas.
Drake.
And I said, nigga.
Drake.
Yeah,
What
I
did
jumped out
Drake?
early and
What'd
said
you
it on the
say?
wrong game, bro.
Drake?
Right. We got to
can't
insert
wait
that
for
right there,
Fantasy
too.
bus.
Straight bus. And the cold thing is that nigga was going around where Aaron Jones was going, right? And I was wrong on both. Well, I wasn't feeling Drake.
You niggas was on Drake and Sanders.
No,
over
nigga,
Aaron
I
Jones.
said nothing about Drake. Nigga, hold on. Don't say you niggas.
I liked it Drake's
Nigga, on my
opportunity,
mama,
right?
nigga.
JD was like last week, Drake is a bust. And I'm like, bro, I only got him in 1 league. You feel me? I don't have no other shares of him. I only got him in 1 league.
Y'all got him over Aaron Jones in the rankings for sure.
I didn't get him over Aaron Jones in the real life. I don't think I got him over Aaron Jones in real life. But my thing with Drake is, you drafted him this season hoping that it would be like last season. And you know what the difference is? He was catching the ball.
Nigga,
They're not using him in the passing
They
game.
didn't have Hopkins last year.
I
so
did
they
have that
didn't
nigga
have
over
Hopkins.
Aaron Jones, but that nigga once CEH got elevated, that nigga slid down. On my mama, I had that nigga sliding down. On my mama, that
Everybody
nigga,
was scared about Aaron Jones because them drafting and running back and doing all that bullshit.
that's big. No, that's big, but nigga,
You were scared of Aaron Jones.
that
I
nigga
was.
Drake
You
though,
said
bro,
everybody.
is looking like not that guy that they. And the whole thing is,
And everybody would have to be scared for him to be slipping at the end of the second round of most leagues.
and
right?
nigga, they only
It's not
signed that
just
nigga
me,
for this
bro.
year.
Yeah,
Nigga,
that's
so
just
they
me.
are not committed to that boy.
Who?
Nigga, the Drake.
Oh yeah, they're not. Hey, I don't know the injury he had, but is Edmonds on the rise?
Man,
I've been holding on to Edmonds.
I have too. I
I've
got
been
him.
high
holding
on
on.
Edmonds.
I
I
ain't
got
dropping
Edmonds
him.
in
I
one of
ain't
my
doing
home
nothing.
leagues, nigga.
I call him a lottery ticket.
You've been hella high.
I call him a
Edmonds
lottery
for the
ticket because
beginning of
he's
the
more
year.
effective in the pass game. It seemed like.
Yeah, Edmonds nice.
You know what I mean?
Well,
He just
they
Edmonds
had-
looking like they fizzling out too, though.
When he came out 2 years ago,
Arizona looking like they fizzling out.
Yeah,
they didn't get it together.
We are what they thought we were.
They are who we
We
thought.
just
they
let
were.
them get away with a home win, a road win against us. That's
I mean,
what-
Kyler
just
Murray.
play well,
Kyler
so.
Murray, his yards saved him 6 for 78.
Yeah, that's who I said. You know, jumping out on that Saints and Detroit game when you said Murray, but Kyler Murray has been in the top 12 rushing category for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's
No,
still
he'll
gonna
be
good
all right
'cause
for
of
No,
sure.
but what
yeah.
I'm saying is they can't continue to have him do that.
Yeah.
Oh, he young. He doing that for sure.
He's doing, but they can't continue to have that. That's my point. The same thing I was saying about Lamar, and Lamar's not doing that this year.
Just ran for 56.
Well, 56 yards ain't 80 yards.
Ran for a 56-yard touchdown.
Okay, well that was his longest of his
It's
career.
his second year though. He's 22. That boy gonna run it, and that's why you got
That's
him
his
this
third
high.
year,
That's
bro.
why you got him third year. Whatever. No,
Well,
that's
they
Baker's third
didn't
year. It's his
fix
second
their
year.
offensive line, so I felt like that was always going to be an issue with Arizona. Their pass D is sneaky good, but it didn't work this time because, like I said, Mike Davis, Robbie Anderson, 99 yards, 8 catches. DJ Moore only 4 for 49.
That nigga ain't won the MVP in his motherfucking first year, bro. This is third year. The first year he fucking
Talking
Lamar
about
Jackson.
Kyler Murray. It's the second year.
You just said it was his Lamar's.
I said it's Kyler Murray's second year that he gonna run. He only 22 years old. He gonna run the ball. That's his game. Somebody said online, trusting. He said he run like a badass kid. He run like that for the show.
Hey, let's talk about the Colts and the Bears. Colts 19, Bears 11.
That was an ugly game right there, bro.
Yeah.
That was completely ugly.
You know what I learned about that game? I don't mean to cut you off. The Colts run game. Everybody got some. Wilkins 9 carries, Hines 9 carries, and Taylor with 17. This is a buy low time on Taylor. Their schedule was looking nice.
Yeah,
after
that
this
was
week.
part of the game plan to do
Yeah,
that.
they was up.
For sure.
I still like Mo Alley for sure, even though he just caught the touchdown, but they was up. But the Bears, even with Nick Foles, the only pass and catch option on the Bears is Allen Robinson, and his came almost in really garbage time.
Yeah, all of it came in garbage
He
time.
had 5 or 6 points before garbage time. You know what I mean? So that's definitely. But the Bears play hard and they want to control the game and play with defense anyway.
Yeah.
So if they're down, they're gonna have to pass the ball. And if they want to move the chains, I don't think Montgomery can get it done. So they're gonna have to pass the ball at some point. And Allen Robinson is gonna do what he did last year, which was be a top 10 wide receiver the ugly way. You know what I mean?
Force feeding.
I come through with the ugly in Oakland, Yokin, Chuck E. Cheese dough. That's how you
That's
come
Mac
through
Dre.
with
That's a
Allen
Mac Dre
Robinson right
reference for
there.
you boys that's
You know
not
what I
from this
mean?
Northern California. Just might be getting goofy to this Northern Cali
Hey.
rap scene.
I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
But that boy though, Montgomery, 10 for 27, 3 catches, only 30 yards. The Bears is, they are who we think they are. The Eagles and 49ers. I had to wear my 49er hat tonight, man, because through adversity, we should have won that game. I thought that we was letting them hang around too
Point
long
shaving
without
at its
getting-
finest.
I don't know what Mullins was on.
Mullins was point shaving, bro.
Right.
I looked up like, what was he looking at? Like,
threw it
what
right
was he
to him.
looking at?
I wouldn't even.
Besides
know.
the picks, it was multiple throws that he was throwing. Like,
He
bro,
didn't
what
have
the
a good
fuck are you
drive.
doing,
He
bro?
didn't have one good
But
drive.
to give Philadelphia they credit, bro, nigga, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham,
Yeah, we didn't
them
play.
boys was
Oh,
bullying.
wow.
She did it. Mullins couldn't even drop back someplace,
When
bro.
she got to get better.
On
That
everything.
motherfucker was
So
getting
shout out to the Philadelphia defense. They put up like 18 points over the week. That might be a streaming option, but they go to Pittsburgh this week. But if that pass rush can get to what they did, and you got to understand, we got two of the top tackles in the league, and they was getting destroyed. And there ain't too many offenses that got top tackles. So you might want to think about getting Philly as a streaming defense later on down the road. But, you know, there it was there. When you blessing niggas with pick sixes and motherfucking picks and, you know what I mean, shit like that, and you got Wentz, nigga, rushing for another touchdown looking like a Russian QB, you know what I mean? Yeah. He's doing what he's doing.
Your boy Wentz was real. Hey, you typed that in the chat, and I swear to God, I was thinking that. I was thinking that when you typed it, you just happened to. You probably didn't notice, but right after you sent it, mine came hella quick. Because I was already typing the same shit. Wentz looking like a Russian QB. They didn't run a play for him to run up. That's because they don't got nobody.
He got to do. But that just shows the part of his game to where he's taking it a step level to get them that W. Nigga, let me take this on my hands and try and, you know, get us where we need to be. You know, I ain't mad at him for that. I don't know how many points he put up in fantasy yesterday, but, you know, they better go get an AJ Green. They better go try and go get an Antonio Brown. They better go do something to get some more weapons out there, bro. On everything.
Yeah, you gotta drop Antonio Brown.
No, I don't gotta drop Antonio Brown.
You had to drop somebody.
No, I didn't.
Harris up, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Hey, look though, this was crazy.
Don't worry about it. Who you picking with your number one pick?
Hey, what about this though? Kittle with two different quarterbacks caught 15 of 15 for 183 yards and a touchdown.
As a Niner fan, you know what I heard today on the 1320, and shout out to Rado Koski and I can't even think of the other dude on their fucking radio show, but them boys said that was the third most receptions by a 49ers receiver ever. You had T.O. with the 20, you had Jerry Rice with 16, and then you had this boy, like he said, with two different quarterbacks putting up 50. And then the cold thing is they also to double back on that wasn't his highest receiving yard game as a Niner. His highest receiving was almost 200.
Packers, right?
Now that I can't remember who he did it against, but that just goes to show you how raw GKO is, bro.
Hopefully Jimmy learns from this and gets fucking Kittle the ball.
Kittle,
as a Niner fan,
Ayuk,
I don't have no
Debo,
Ayuk.
See, my thing is with the Niners, see, we can go on to some homer ass shit. But just on a deeper perspective, I think this could be the best offense that we had in a long time when you got Ayuk and fucking Debo on top of Kittle out there, bro, with the run game that they present. You know what I mean? So
I fucking hate our corners, though.
No, that boy Dante Johnson on that sideline TD, that was horrendous.
So bad, bro.
Oh,
I'm tired of all the corners, but Warner like the best middle linebacker in the league.
No, Freddie Warner is a dog,
best
bro.
Mike in the league.
Even Quan Alexander. And no, shout out to Eric Armstead. You can't tell me Armstead didn't have a hell of a game last night. He was in that motherfucking causing havoc, bro.
Young Sacramento,
real talk,
man.
on my mama.
Pleasant Grove alum.
It just hurts that
you know
all fucking, you know, all the injuries that we had going into the first 2 weeks fucking, you know, hurt us a lot. But we still got some bright spots. My only thing is with Seattle being 4-0 and the Rams being 3-1, we got a lot of catching up to do. And even though we ain't even played them teams yet, so we still got action, especially if we get healthy. You know what I mean?
NFC dumb trash too.
But you know, I see a lot of shit. Fucking McKinnon had a great game yesterday, man. So if you got some Niner players that you know you got some shares in, don't panic on them boys. You can fire up Ayuk. Ayuk is finna get the ball without a doubt.
It's the scheme.
It's the scheme. It's the most yard. It's the most yak team in the league. So that's fantasy points right there. That's hella yards.
But I do worry about them forcing it to Debo like they did more so last year. They're not going to have to, especially with Ayuk looking how he did, Mostert coming back. So a lot of people, you know, if you've been surviving this long without Debo, or you maybe could sell him off his name alone.
I would sell him because because
I've been trying to get Debo for Ryan.
Why not?
Stop
Because
playing,
I
Ryan.
think that there's enough room to go around to where it's only going to take 3 or 4 plays for him to be
I'm
12
with you.
to 13. Just you didn't draft him on a motherfucking 1 or 2 receiver. You drafted him on a flex because he was injured. He was injured going into the draft. So if you got him as your flex and he's putting up 10 to 12 with potential of the 18 to 20, you better keep him.
Yeah.
That's how I
what
feel.
Kev saying though, because it's hella of them over there, and so on a team that run the ball that much, you gotta worry.
It's the
It's a
same thing with
toss-up.
the Browns, though.
It's a
It's the
toss-up.
same as the Browns as a run-first offense.
Okay,
Exactly.
but look, who did we have last year
Exactly.
that could fill the Debo role?
What do you mean?
Like, can fill the Debo role, like that could play like Debo.
Or who could be the Ayuk?
Exactly.
Sanders at week 8 when they got him.
Yeah, but
So, and Debo wasn't Debo in the first 6 weeks, though.
I mean, I feel what you're saying, but I'm saying we're using him as a yak player, right?
And he's getting carries.
So from a
now.
fantasy perspective, I feel like we might not need him as much as we did last year when we got.
But
Ayuk.
as a yak player, you just look at what Ayuk
I
did
just
on the
don't wanna-
screen.
I'm
On his
saying-
touchdown was
I'm
a
saying
screen.
if you could get value for his name right now,
Yeah,
I think
it's
you
not
might
gonna
should
happen
do
right
that.
now, though.
Maybe though. Maybe people are
Like how?
thin.
What do you think?
Maybe people are thin at wide receiver. Maybe losing a couple players. Maybe throw them in a trade with somebody and
I think you're
with a
right.
Mike Davis or something and
Yeah.
throw him in there with somebody
Exactly.
that got potential, but right now could also help him. And you might could get something off
I
his
agree
name.
with Kev because the only reason because Debo is the same talent as DK, as AJ Brown, and they all was gonna go rounds ahead of Debo because of the reason that he talking about. If Debo is in Tennessee, Debo getting drafted way before he getting drafted now, just because of the situation he in. Same if he in Seattle. You know what I'm saying?
I'm lost.
No, I see what he's talking
We
about
gotta
more
rewind
so.
it then.
He's talking about more so with how the Niners are able to use him and with the scheme.
No,
Like,
I'm
they
saying
don't
he
need
don't
him.
have as much opportunity because of all the people that are there.
And they don't
If he was
need
in
him to
Tennessee,
do that.
If he was in Tennessee, you know what I'm saying, they need a little bit more from AJ Brown.
Last year they needed him to do that. I feel like
Yeah, that
more
too.
so than this year, especially because we see how he.
But he
playing
took
without him.
that spot, though. That's the thing.
Took what
It-
From who though?
From all the other bums that they had over there.
Bums.
Because they drafted in the second round.
Nigga, they took motherfucking the boy out of Washington in the second round.
And they tried to
But
get
he
him to
stayed
start.
hurt.
But he took that spot, though.
Exactly.
They didn't draft him to come in and
They
and do that
drafted
right
him-
then immediately.
Yes, they did. They drafted him because Pettis sucks.
For sure.
But he had to perform as well. You just don't think you're gonna draft a dude at the number 2 round and think he's gonna perform.
That's exactly what you expect.
So he outperformed his draft position, bro.
No, I think Debo did what he was supposed to do and Pettis didn't. Like when you
He
draft
came
him-
and took
Matt
that
Ryan,
job.
bro. You
you
see
draft
He came
him
and
in
took
the
that
first
job,
3
bro.
rounds, they're supposed to produce right away. First 3 round guys.
Did you
No,
see
they're
that right
supposed
there?
to, but not everyone does that though.
Yeah, I don't know what Matt Ryan doing.
Did you see that? What was he doing?
I think he
Look.
got tipped.
No, he didn't.
No, yeah, hell no.
Where?
What the fuck is he doing? I thought for sure that had to get
What
tipped.
is he throwing it to? Everybody looking
Yeah.
like, who's there?
I
That
mean, you
shit is
traded him to
crazy.
BJ. You about to beat him because of Matt Ryan.
I mean, you said I was going to lose in the current, but it's a lot of time left. Let's jump on to the Bengals and the Jags. 33-25.
What's 37 doing?
Bengals
Is
got
that Gurley?
Bengals got their win versus Jags, 33-25. Minshew, as from a fantasy perspective, he came back 27 for 40, 351 yards, 2 TDs and an interception. Chark came back, eight catches for 95 yards and 2 TDs. Chenault had 86 plus yards, 5
Nope,
catches.
going up every game.
Cole came down to earth, 4 catches for 46. James Robinson still with the solid 14 in some of our leagues, 17 for 75 and 4 catches for 32 yards. I still like James Robinson. I like him. If I can get him in the trade right now, he's somebody that if I'm specifically
Go, Gurley?
Okay, Gurley.
I just lost.
Get up in there.
Damn.
Versus who and win?
In the 14 team.
Oh. Hey, but
I like
James Robinson?
Yeah, I like Robinson for sure. I still like Minshew. I still like Chark, and I like Chenault because, and this go for Cincinnati too. Like we talked about with Washington, they got the garbage time points. I think them is 2 teams, Burrow, Minshew, that's gonna get them garbage points. That's probably gonna be cool for you in fantasy.
Wow, 2 tackles. No, without a doubt, you know, I got Minshew. I wouldn't pick that Minshew quickly in the ALB, nigga, after week 2. I drafted Drew Brees and dropped his motherfucking ass, nigga, after week 1, nigga.
But you got Dak, though.
No, but I'm saying, though, nigga, I dropped Drew Brees, nigga, and went and picked up, nigga, Minshew just because that motherfucker gonna be slinging that motherfucking, especially when you got a DJ. You got a Chenault, you got a Keelan Cole, you got a Conley, you know what I mean? And then on top of them not being where they need to be and gonna be behind the stick a lot, they gonna have to fire that rock. And just last week where he threw for 270 and for, you know, on the Thursday night game, it was 270 even though he didn't have no TDs. That was almost a 300-yard game. That's gonna be consistent, bro.
Hey, last week on the show, I know for sure I said buy low on Chark right now. Don't be worried about Chark. Chark is, you didn't draft him to be your number 1 receiver. So if you got somebody who underperforming and he's your 3rd receiver, you want to go 3 running backs and put him as your, you know, as one of the guys you drafted higher than him. Playing, man. Chark is specifically on matchups too. You know, that was going to be a game that it was. But the biggest story in this game, hands down, is Joe Mixon. 25 carries, 151, 2 TDs, 6 catches for 30 and a TD. Whew.
I think, yeah.
How do you feel about letting him go?
I let him go at the wrong time. I should have sold him after this game. I should have shot. Unless they going to use him in the passing game. Yeah. If they going to use him in the passing game, I'm not talking about, Burrow, you better look to throw it to Joe Mixon if no one's open. I'm talking about draw up some plays where he's catching the ball and making some plays.
But the volume has always been there for the first 3 weeks before his explosion game this week, right?
For sure, but they had some, I mean, he started slow last year. If that's what you say, you know, if you use last year recency bias, he started slow last year. So, you know, I'm not even going to say I panicked. I got an offer I couldn't refuse. Like, in a time where you need depth, you know, I got Chubb and Scary Terry for Joe Mixon and Matt Ryan. You know what I mean? And
it's like Julio's done for the night.
That's your trade jinx, though.
What? That Chubb get hurt? I mean, luckily, I do got some running backs that can fill in that they're definitely not Chubb. But I feel like the wide receivers I got on my team, Allen Robinson, Boyd, Scary Terry, DJ Moore, who's doing bad right now, I think I can manage with them and have some of them lead. You know, we're going to see. But Mixon, that's the big story, though. A lot of people either panicked or didn't. If you still want to trade them, I mean, hey, now's the time.
I wouldn't trade them. I think that they got the first win under their belt. Like, they're going to try to keep the winning
build
going.
Off of that.
Yeah,
Let's build off that.
Give our best player the rock. And, yeah.
Boyd has arrived, though.
Boyd's the number 1.
Boyd's the number 1 over there. And he's not even getting number 1 attention.
No, and T. Higgins, too.
And look, I'm going to tell you something about Boyd. He caught a touchdown. And they called it back for holding, bro. It was a deep one in the left corner. Yeah. He damn near 3 flies up the nigga. You feel me? Like, that's his guy. Give me that. Boyd is my guy, bro. I love Boyd, bro.
You just hoping he get traded at this
point. 3 yards?
You just hoping he get traded.
I don't have AJ Green in no league.
Even if he does, I don't think he gets traded.
Fool me once.
I just traded for AJ Green, thinking that he's going to get traded.
Hey, fool me once, shame on who is it?
I don't know that shit.
Shame on me. Shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
They don't got no man.
They was not finna fool me.
They don't got no room for AJ over there. It's time to send him to Philadelphia or Houston.
Since we watching the Atlanta and Green Bay game right now, Julio out for the game. Is it time to have Gage right now?
Oh yeah,
because Gage has been getting the ball a lot tonight. Is it time to go get Gage right now? That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
you know what I mean? But nah, back to that though. Boyd and Higgins is the receivers I own over there though.
And hands down. The boy Sample caught a TD.
Yeah, hands down for sure. Let's get into the last game, which is Seattle and the Dolphins. Seattle and the Dolphins.
Yeah. Miami. I talked about Miami's defense kind of. I didn't think it was going to be a little cakewalk. But DK got another touch, caught at the one again, second week in a row. DK going to end up being a top 5 receiver. Like, he gonna score once a game damn near, or catch a deep ball. He gonna have a big play once a game. He's not gonna be a PPR guy. That's probably more Lockett. He might have more receptions, but DK gonna have the yards for sure.
Yeah, DK is to have that other receiver on that other side and him to go get whatever, the single coverage, whether it be the safety over the top. Russell was going to get him the ball, and he did his 105, 104 on like four catches.
Four catches.
Oh my mama!
Had a big one called back too.
So, hey, I'm gonna say this about DK. This may sound crazy, and Lockett owners ain't gonna like me for this, right? But Lockett can get you 39, but he could also get you 5 like he did. I don't see DK getting less than 15.
Yeah.
Now, we got to see the rest of the season happen. I'm not about to just put it on Lockett and say he's going to have hella 5-point games.
Yeah.
But if I'm betting on them, I'm going to say DK is going to have a lot less under 10, under 15 games than Lockett is.
Yeah,
they both going to have that 1,000 yards, but
I feel it, but
steady.
It was a Chris Carson game yesterday too as well. It wasn't just we finna just shoot it out and throw up and down the field all the time. Chris Carson had a hell of a game yesterday.
16, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And two touchdowns. Nice. It was when you go down into Miami, you can't have no motherfucking, and it's still October. And y'all boys done been to Miami before. I ain't been there, but I know what the humidity feel like because I done been somewhere where that humidity be like that. And you can't go, oh my goodness.
Canyon.
That's his 5th TD?
Why they pick him in his draft?
Look, he laughing. He know it too.
Hey.
But yeah, though. So I just, not to knock DK what he did, and not to say that you're not wrong on Tyler having 40s and then come back with 5s. I just think that it wasn't just that type of game. And then you got to think Miami played them boys great yesterday.
They was smacking. They was smacking Lockett every time they caught that motherfucker for sure.
And then they got great corners over there in Miami. You got Xavier and you got Byron over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with that. Fitzmagic, he 6 rushes for 47 yards and a touchdown. He threw for 315. Devontae Parker had 10 for 110. The matchups, Seattle's defense isn't really shit, but to me, Seattle's offense is going to make their defense a little bit better than they are. You know what I mean? And
old boy is hurt right now, too. 33.
Gaskins was still solid, 10 rushes,
Adams,
40 yards, 3 catches for 22.
How many total points did that boy have in one of the
He might have had like 10 or something, but when it's a time where you got to plug and play in some situations, Gaskins is a person you could look for.
The niggas was saying they was comfortable firing him up as a every week flex.
I mean, 10 points on that's bad, but that's the floor. Yeah. The floor to me is 12 to 14 for Gaskin, possibly.
I hear you.
That's what I'm arguing. That's what I would argue. You know what I mean?
Mad.
But like I said, man. But look, man, we're gonna get back to y'all. We're gonna take a quick intermission, and then we're gonna do these wire picks for y'all, and then we're gonna get into them Week 5 rankings, man. Heart2Start. Stay tuned.